All right, so I'm tired of being all serious. Tired of being so, you know, depressing. I want to tell you actually a funny story and something that happened that I can look back at as an adult and just laugh at. So in the fourth grade, I was in a crayon war. A crayon war that has a very crazy ending to it. And I'm going to tell you how it started and how it ended. It'll take you back to 2005 in the fourth grade. I got into a lot of fights that year, was suspended 2 times. I was sent to the office 15, maybe 17 times, maybe 20. I was on the verge of, I was on the near brink of being expelled, close to expulsion. But I stopped fighting because my dad straightened me out. But it was times when I had to fight. And this is when I say, if my dad didn't straighten me out, I would have that energy to fight. Didn't matter if I won or lost. Because understand about what this is my mindset. When I used to fight, I never cared about winning. It was about proving my point. If somebody said something to me the wrong way, all I knew how to do was just punch them, push them, or just fight with them. But my dad had to straighten me out and teach me that's not how you solve problems. That's not how you disagree with somebody. Just like there are no fathers in a lot of homes. That's why so many people fight and they shoot people, because they don't know how to reason. They don't know how to disagree with people when they don't like something. But my fourth grade is a lot different than the fourth grade of today, because you know how there are a lot of genders now, a lot of anti-bullying campaigns. Let me tell you right now, we bust on each other. We bust on shoes, hairlines, skin color, teeth, your mother, your dad, if you had one. If you were ashy, they bust on you. If you didn't have a haircut, if you were woofing, they bust on you. They would just find things to mess with you about. We see I don't know what everybody calls it, but we called it bussing. No, I don't. We never said ranking. We called it bussing, and that started. It was basically like this. I had Reeboks on, right? Had Reeboks on, and I never had a pair of like Jordans. When I was younger, I had Air Force Ones maybe one time, but we always wore either Reeboks, K-Swiss, or that was pretty much it. We never had Jordans or Adidas. And we were only allowed to wear black shoes. That was the dress code. That was the policy. So, sometimes my pants were a little high. I had high waters on sometimes. High waters are like, this is the definition of this kid, Keith. He said anytime you had white, when you sit down and you see white, that's high waters. And he got away wearing Dickies. See, Dickies used to be the shit back in the day. I told you one time I didn't wear like regular clothes because I was so used to a uniform for almost like 4 or 5 years. I came to school with the entire set on, the whole Dickies set on with Tim's on, and people were looking at me like, who the fuck is this dude wearing these Aki ass Tim's on, these gray Tim's on, these Aki ass Tim's on, with the whole Dickies set on. Keith had on Dickies. He wore his Dickies to school, and he thought, I had high waters on. So we just started busting on each other. I forgot what I said to him, but we just bust on each other, and we were kind of cool. Cause here's the thing: I had a dad, and I'm not gonna front. My dad, me and my brother, we jumped Keith. I'm just gonna say it like this: me and my brother, when my brother was suspended, and they did what they did to me that Friday, where my mom and my dad, we couldn't watch TV for the whole weekend. They took the cable away from us. because they thought we were being bad, but really we were getting bullied at school by these badass kids. I wanted revenge, so me and my brother, he came to me when he was suspended. He didn't really do anything, but he just stood there and watched. That's why, but they say we jumped him. But I got like a couple hits on him because he didn't want to mess with my brother. So the whole time, we just like I said, we jumped him. But he said he was gonna mess me up, and then my dad picked me up from school. We didn't have a car, but he caught the bus home with us. He talked to him, and he just stopped bothering me after that. But we were playfully like busting on each other because he was just saying, "You got high waters on," and I just started busting on him. So the next thing I know, I break a crayon and I throw that thing at him. I throw it at him, right? And this kid Jameer, he threw another. He trying to join in. He threw a crayon at me. So then I break another one, and I don't know where we got these crayons from because I didn't have crayons. But I threw another crayon at Keith. And as like 30 minutes goes by, we all just sporadically just throw crayons at one another, right? And my desk, and the whole day this is going on, I don't know what substitute we had, but this bitch or this guy was very, very like just deaf because there's no way you could not hear us throwing crayons, acting up in class. I don't know who we had that day. It had to be a lady, but we were throwing crayons around the whole morning, to the point where like after 2 hours goes by, we all like, it's like one side of the room against the other. We all just throw crayons at each other for like a good 5 minutes. We all just throwing crayons, and the whole floor, the whole carpet is kind of ruined. It's broken crayons on the floor. And the principal, Sister Ellen, she comes upstairs and she's like, "What's going on?" Because they hear us laughing and playing around. "What's going on?" And they find all the crayons on the floor, and they're like, "What's all this? What's all this? Who threw all these crayons? Who threw all these crayons?" She's looking at people's desks, and this is a war I started. Understand? I started this war. I initiated it. So this kid Tyree, she didn't touch him, but she kind of like gripped him up a little bit by his shirt, and she just said, "Evidence. This is evidence right here." And eventually he got suspended. And then this kid William Patterson that I fought, he was a badass kid. I wasn't there when it happened. I think I left the room. I'm laughing right now. He got expelled for this, but this is what he said. I guess she yelled at him so much where he said, "Fuck you, Sister Ellen." He had a 10-year-old kid say, "Fuck you, Sister Ellen." He got suspended. And Tyree he got suspended. Well, William got expelled. Tyree got suspended. Nothing happened to me. I started the whole war. And eventually Keith, I think on the last day, I don't know what he did, but he just said he wasn't going to come back here anymore. He said, "I'm going back to my old school." He said that a lot of the time. He always was like, "I'm going back to my old school. I'm tired of this place, y'all. I'm tired of this place." But that's a story. I'm kind of bad at telling stories, but it was just funny reminiscing.